Sophie.
Sleep well, darling.
Marguerite! Shh! Marguerite, listen.
No. You know Mama doesn't like us to get out of bed at night.
Oh, then I imagine you don't want to know the exciting news I have, do you?
What news?
Never mind. Mama wouldn't like it if she knew I were here.
Sophie, tell me please.
Only if you promise not to repeat it to anybody.
Not even Camille and Madeleine?
No one. If you want me to tell you.
No, I won't tell anybody.
All right. This afternoon, Madame de Fleurville asked me to pick vegetables from the garden.
That's the big news you woke me up for, Sophie?
That's not all. The vegetables are for Françoise Lecomte and her daughter Marie.
Madame de Fleurville is very generous, but Françoise Lecomte is not the most needy person in these parts. For example, Mrs. Toutain doesn't even have enough money for a piece of bread every day.
The poor thing. Where does she live?
She lives in a small cottage at the entrance to the village in the woods. She does what she can to make ends meet, but she's 82 years old. She doesn't even have thread to mend her clothing.
Is it far?
About a half-hour's walk. A bit of bread and some lard would certainly be welcome.
Do you remember, Marguerite, the other day at the Lecomtes? It was your mamma who behaved so very generously. There wasn't much we children could do to help.
What of it?
What of it? Do you think it's by doing nothing that one day will become as generous as Madame de Fleurville and your mother?
Well, no.
I've decided to bring some provisions over to Mrs. Toutain's cottage. Will you come with me?
Why, yes, if Mama permits me to go, and we can take Camille, Madeleine and Elisa.
Marguerite, you promised. We're big girls now. We can go alone. We don't need anybody's help.
But why can't we?
Shh.
Why aren't you asleep, dear? Were you talking to yourself?
No, yes, Mama. It was just a bad dream.
Go back to sleep now. Good children needn't be worried about nightmares.
Yes, Mama. And now, Sophie, go back to your room.
Are you coming with me tomorrow?
That's enough now. Because of you, I have to conceal things from Mama. Go now.
You promised. Don't forget. You know what happens to children who don't keep promises? They have terrible nightmares. Well, what have you decided? Are you coming with me or not?
I'm working. Leave me alone. I can't do anything without first asking Mama.
But then everyone will know.
Yes, so why should we hide it?
Because just the other day, I heard your mamma say we should be very humble about our generosity and not let everybody know when we give others some help.
My Mama said that?
Absolutely. She said it as clearly as 2 and 2 make 4.
Very good, Sophie.
Oh?
And 4 and 4 make 8, don't they?
When you finished your arithmetic, would you like to come and sew with us?
Oh, yes, we would.
Elisa's given us handkerchiefs to sew borders on. They're presents for Madame Lecomte and for Marie.
We're finished. We can come.
Marguerite, you know very well that we have something to do with Madame de Fleurville.
We do? What is it?
You haven't forgotten, have you? That's something we have to do now, just the 2 of us.
Oh, that's right. It's very important, and Sophie and I have to do it together.
See you later then.
Sophie, Marguerite, I want to lend Marie Leconte some books. Do you mind helping me choose them?
We'd love to, but Camille and Madeleine are waiting, Madame, to sew the handkerchiefs.
Go on then. I can manage on my own.
Well, are you coming or aren't you?
We're too small to walk through the forest all alone.
I walked further than that alone when I was 5 years old. You're a big scaredy cat, that's what you are.
I am not.
Are you afraid a wolf is going to eat you up?
Of course not. There aren't any wolves in the forest. I'm not in the least bit frightened. Let's go right now.
Off we go. Now I know that you're a big girl.
But where is... I don't understand. Joseph, did you take my sewing basket?
Why, of course I did, Elisa. I have so little work to do, I thought I might do some of your sewing for you at night.
But the basket didn't simply fly away.
Oh my. Joseph, did you take 2 loaves of bread and a big chunk of lard?
Why, of course I did, Rosalie. I sometimes get hungry during the night, and so I have a few loaves of bread, 2 or 3 chickens.
Food doesn't stand up and walk away on its own.
I should never have agreed to go with you. You'll see how happy the woman is, and you'll be glad you came.
Sophie, are you sure this is the right way?
Of course I am. We'll be there in no more than 10 minutes. Mrs. Tutone will be overjoyed when she sees what we brought her. She doesn't eat bread or lard every day, and all the needles and thread, so that she can mend her clothes whenever she likes.
Elisa, I can't find the spool of white thread.
That's strange, because I can't find my big box of needles either.
Isn't Marguerite with you?
No, Madame, she's doing something with Mama and Sophie.
I'm getting tired, Sophie.
So am I.
We've been gone for a long time. Everyone must be worried about us. What's wrong?
I don't know which way to go. We're lost.
We are? Then we'd better go back right away.
Yes, let's go back.
Aren't Marguerite and Sophie with you? No, they're not. Aren't they sewing with the others? Why, no. I wonder where they could have run off to.
There's moss here. It's that way.
There wasn't any moss here before, was there?
Yes, there was. I'm sure of it.
I seem to recall there was only dust.
You didn't look carefully. There was lots of moss. Let's go.
Rosalie, have you seen Sophie and Marguerite?
No, I haven't, Miss Camille.
Oh my, everything's vanished. The bread, the lard, a basket, and now the children as well. Once again, I plead innocent of all charges.
This is not the moment to be joking. We can't find them anywhere.
There's no one in Marguerite's room.
Nor in Sophie's.
Not in the attic either.
Nor in the stables. Nobody has seen them.
And my basket's gone and Rosalie's provisions.
Could they have left the chateau? Search the grounds.
And the needles and thread? Perhaps they went to the Lecontes to help them with sewing.
You're right, Camille. That sounds just like Sophie. She decided to bring them things because they're in need. And she talked Marguerite into going. Oh, I hope you're right. I'll run over there now.
We should have been at the edge of the forest a long time ago.
My feet hurt.
Mama must be sick with worry by now.
Please forgive me, Marguerite, for having made you come with me. You're not saying anything. Thank you for not scolding me, although I deserve it.
What good would it do? It's my mama I'm thinking about. Listen!
It's a stream. I'm so thirsty too.
So am I. My throat is burning.
Nothing, madame. Thank heaven.
Nobody's seen them in the village, nor by the windmill. I even went over the Durian farm, but no sign of them.
Perhaps they went into the forest and got lost in there.
The forest? But why in the world would they go into the forest alone? They know it's a very dangerous place, full of wolves and other wild animals.
Oh, Sophie, is it... It's a dog, isn't it?
It must be. We've got to get back to the road. They must be looking for us.
I'm frightened, Sophie.
A road always leads somewhere. Come.
Did you hear that? There can't be elephants in this forest, can there? Sophie!
Quickly!
Ah!
Hurry, up the tree! Follow me! We're boars. A second later, and they would have trampled us.
They can't climb up here, can they, Sophie?
Of course they can't. Don't be silly. Wait a second. Let me listen.
What do you think it is? Sounds like a horse.
You're right. Someone must be riding it.
Help! Help us! Up here! Help us! He went away.
Don't cry, Marguerite. Now we know that there's a road not far from here. The next time we hear someone come by, we'll shout louder than the last time.
Sophie!
Marguerite!
Marguerite!
Sophie! Sophie!
Marguerite!
Are those wolves, Sophie?
Why, no, of course not.
Are you sure? Have you ever seen a wolf? Have you?
Yes, I did once, when I was very, very small. I was gathering strawberries in the forest.
You were all alone in this forest?
No, I wasn't all alone, but I stayed behind. I was eating some strawberries when I heard a crackling sound.
Oh, no.
Mama?
brave, Sophie! Attack! Attack! Are you hurt?
Everything is fine now. That day, I almost caused a real tragedy. Oh, why must I always get into mischief? I don't understand.
Sophie, do you hear? A wagon! Help! 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 Help!
Here they are, madam. Here they are.
Children! Sophie! Oh, Marguerite! Thank heaven!
I missed you so.
You poor child. I was frightened I'd never see you again. And look at you. Where were you? Everywhere for you.
Ma, I shouldn't have disobeyed you.
It was all my fault, not Marguerite's, madame. It was I who encouraged her to go into the forest.
The forest? My word. But then who brought you back here?
Oh, they were two frightened little girls when I heard them crying for help from a tree branch. I am Marguerite de Rosbourg, she said, and this is my friend Sophie. You don't mean to say, I answered, that Madame de Rosbourg lets you go so far from home all alone? We left home without telling anyone, she said. Oh, I think I've had enough. I've still got a long ride home, so I'd better not.
Don't go yet. Madame would so like to thank you.
Oh, there's no need. Besides, I have to go.
Afraid your wife will worry?
Alas, the poor woman died 4 years ago this autumn, leaving me to raise 3 little girls all on my own.
Oh, you poor man.
Well, of course, it wasn't always easy, but at present my oldest looks after the 2 others.
Who are you, and where do you live, my good man?
My heavens. What if this man hadn't found you?
I wanted to prove that we could help others all by ourselves, and we were punished for it.
I forgive you, Sophie, but we were terribly frightened for you.
Sophie! Marguerite! What happened to you? Where did you go?
We were in the forest, lost.
In the forest? You were brave enough to go into the forest alone?
We went to see poor Mrs. Tutain and bring her some provisions.
But why didn't you tell us? We could have come. Perhaps we'd have found our way together.
I'm sure you haven't eaten anything.
We drank some water from a stream.
You poor things.
What is the name of the good man who rescued you?
Hurel, madame. He's very brave and modest. He's a butcher in the village of O. He had to go back home. The poor man is a widower with 3 daughters.
Well then, Elisa, since this fine man had to go home, we shall pay him a visit tomorrow to thank him.
Will we come with you, madame?
Yes, of course, Sophie. It was you and Marguerite whom he rescued. It is absolutely essential that you come.
I'm a little frightened. He's going to make fun of us for being silly enough to get lost in the forest. I know he is.
If he does, it might be a valuable lesson for you, Sophie.
I don't think he'll make fun of you. He's not that sort of person.
Well, Elisa, I see you've got dressed up to visit the butcher, Mr. Hurel.
I simply want to do honour to my mistress. Now mind your business, Augustine, and don't get lost as our young ladies did.
You had quite a scare there, thanks to Sophie.
Oh, madame, it wasn't only her fault. I was disobedient by going with her. She'd never have gone alone.
You're very good-hearted, dear. Sophie is too impulsive, but I think this has taught her a lesson.
Good day, ladies. What can I do for you today?
Mr. Hurel, we've come here to pay our debts.
But I don't recall selling either of you any beef, lamb or veal.
No, but we are indebted to you for rescuing our 2 little girls.
Ah, and here are the 2 little flowers I picked off a tree last night. I didn't recognise them in their lovely dresses. Victorine, dear, bring out some chairs. Now then, no more shouting for help. All's well again.
We'd probably be dead if it hadn't been for you. To thank you, we'd like you to have this.
Please accept it as a token of our appreciation.
Oh, It's beautiful. You're much too kind. You didn't have to give me anything at all.
You deserve a great deal more. You returned two very dear treasures to us. That merits so much more than a simple timepiece. So these are your three daughters. Sophie.
Oh, go on, open it. It's for the three of you.
Oh!
But it's too much. You're really spoiling them.
And here's a pie for the entire family.
Forgive me, Madame. I'm so much trouble to you.
You've a good heart, Sophie, but it's not enough. Why, if you'd been killed in the forest, do you think it would have eased Mrs. Toutaine's suffering?
No, of course not, Madame.
And just think of the despair of Madame de Rosbourg. She'd never have been able to get over it. Nor would I.
You mean you'd be sad about me?
Sad? Don't you see, my dear Sophie, I care about you the same as I do about my own daughters. My child, my little child.